No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You've got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Welcome on into a live edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. We got Brad Bedell with us, and Brad, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get to our special guest, but how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It was a big day for the draft. I know you had been one saying for a long time, Ben Dooley is an NFL player. Ben Dooley, is going to get there and do some big things, and I know you were happy to see him go to the Rams, and even happier to see him jump on and join us right now. There he is, the great Ben Dooley. Ben, appreciate you for jumping on, man. Congratulations.
Hell of an introduction. I appreciate it. The great Ben Dooley. I might have to start using that.
Hey. Brad, I could just let you and Brad talk for 10 minutes here, but first of all, just what to get that call and get this opportunity with the Rams, man. Congratulations, but just how exciting is it for you?
It's really exciting. I've had a lot of people, my family, my coaches, my mentors, they've all kind of helped me along this. I know I didn't get here alone. And so it's super exciting to celebrate with them and to kind of realize this dream one step at a time. I'm beyond grateful. I'm beyond excited to start this thing off.
Brad, I know you probably got some questions or want to just BS with Ben here, but Ben, what were you looking for in terms of your opportunity here? And I know the Rams did not draft a lineman, if I'm correct. So, I mean, what just in terms of this opportunity for you, why was this a good fit for you?
Yeah, the Rams is a historically great program for CFAs and PFAs. They give those guys a lot of respect, and they give those guys a lot of chances and a lot of opportunities. And I knew I wasn't going to be a high round draft guy. I knew I wasn't Ashton Genty. I knew I wasn't one of those guys. So I knew I had to look for a program that gave those guys those opportunities, and the Rams were that fit.
Now we have a comment here. Our man Nick Bowman says Dooley should have been drafted. He's too good. And I mean, you look at your 38 starts, if I counted them up correctly. I mean, College Football Network had you as a third-team All-American this year. Obviously, your first-team All-Mountain West, and with multiple publications, and you were second-team All-Mountain West a couple years ago as too. So I mean, just what in terms of just when you talk to teams or pro day or whatever, what did you try to sell or what was kind of your sales pitch to teams as to why you deserved a shot?
Yeah. I think the two things that I tried to sell the hardest was my work ethic and my athleticism, especially for an O lineman. I knew that I could move in space really well, and I knew that the film proved that. I knew that I could harp on that, and they could see that. And I wanted to let them know that if I got this opportunity, that there wouldn't be any stopping me from working as hard as I could and being whatever kind of guy they want, whatever role they wanted me to slip into. So whether that's inside, whether that's tackle, whether that's wide receiver, I'll go out there and run a route if that's what they need me to be. I'll be that glue guy. So I really tried to harp on that as much as I could with these interviews.
Brad, why were you so confident knowing this guy, coaching, just being around this guy? Why were you so confident that he's a guy that can stick at the next level here?
Well, it's a couple of things. Number one, he hit the point of the head of his athleticism, and I think that's why I think him and his agent did a phenomenal job studying this league and understand what the situation is going to be in going to the Rams, who major in the mid zone. And what does Boise State do? They major in the mid zone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they got to pick and choose, and Dooley's got to have an understanding of what is the best fit for my game, and he can go in a little bit more about it, but you guys, the draft just doesn't end. Right. I mean, if let's say you have like the second pick over on the 7th round, after that pick's done, they're on the phone calling free agents saying, hey, we got this package. We're going to pay you this. We're going to pay you that. And then that's why a lot of people say late in the draft, sometimes it's better don't get drafted, because now you have a choice of where you're going to fit. And you don't want to be the last team. And let's take Ben Dooley's for an example. Let's say he goes to a team that majors in power and things like that. Ben can run it all. I don't have a problem with that, but his specialty is going to be mid-zone, zone blocking in space, screen games, things like that. And then if you're going to run the pull system, he's powerful in the counter and things like that. So that's what his game's built off of. And so now he gets all these calls and now saying, okay, we've got 5 teams. Okay, let's look at them. X team drafted 2 people. You're going for a practice squad or you're not going to make the roster. Well, we got the Rams, who didn't draft anybody, that are dying to have you. And they're going to put this package together. And I think that's where, in a situation with Ben, it's best don't get drafted late. Everybody wants to, I got drafted in the NFL. Well, congratulations, man. You were drafted late in the 7th round, and that's popcorn sales for training camp in the first 2 hours of practice. It doesn't mean anything. Once you get to it, when I was a rookie, we had 3 offensive linemen drafted. Okay, I went in the 6th. They drafted 2 in the 7th. They cut both 7th rounders, and then they kept the 2 undrafted free agents on the active roster. So it's opportunity, and when you get to that round, you're the same as anybody else. And the reason why, to answer your other question, the reason why I also had made it is I'll go back, and I was sitting in his hometown. I was doing a home visit, and I go to watch him wrestle, right? Which a lot of people, if you guys I'll remember, Ben Dooley was an all-American high school wrestler. He was literally ranked in the nation, right? So there's your balance. There is, your power and things like that. And he was going against this little kid. Literally, he was probably, what do you think he weighed, Dooley? 210?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. And
I like how 210's a little kid, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, to him it is. But literally, he took this kid, and it looked like he went through a 15-round fight with Muhammad Ali. And he didn't care that the kid was smaller. He didn't care. He was going to work on his craft. He was going to practice his transitions. He was going to practice the pins. He was going to practice everything else. And he didn't care who he was going against. And that's where, right then and there, I knew he wants to just compete and win. And that's where he's in a position right now, extremely successful at Boise State, all the starts, 3rd-team All-American, All-Mountain West, and now he's the opportunity to go to National Football League. And now it's in his hands.
Ben, when you heard him talking about the fit and maybe better to get not getting drafted and all that, I mean, was that kind of where your head was at?
Yeah. Me and my agent definitely studied those depth charts, definitely studied those schemes and those opportunities, and we definitely figured out that the Rams were a great fit for us. They also run a little bit of duo, which I like.
Were they?
Good point.
What was your take on Saturday? I mean, were you thinking maybe sixth, seventh round, or were you thinking you probably were going to be a priority free agent, or what kind of was your mindset going into Saturday?
My mindset was trying not to lose my mind on Saturday, looking at my phone the whole time. So I was just trying to be around my family, enjoy this experience, enjoy this opportunity that I have. Not a lot of people get to have that, and I knew I was, like I said, I knew I was a late round guy, maybe, or a possible, more likely a PFA. So yeah, that was kind of my mindset, just trying to not lose it.
Were you? I mean, this may be a dumb question, but were you for sure you'd at least get that, or I mean, was it nerve wracking till the team started calling late in the draft and stuff? I mean, what were you? I'm sure you were confident, but I mean, until they actually call, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, what was that like when the phone starts ringing, and how many teams were you fielding interest from?
We were fielding interest from a couple. We had a lot of the West Coast. We had the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Rams. We had some in the East Coast. We had the Kansas City, even the Panthers called, the Lions. We had a lot of teams reach out and express some interest, but I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I knew I was confident, but nothing's a guaranteed, especially in the NFL. And so, yeah, I was anxious up until the moment I got the phone call. I've never answered the phone faster. And I immediately said yes. I said, thanks for the opportunity. And then I celebrated with my family.
So what? I mean, all the years of football, Pee Wee football, and growing up, and all the injuries and sweat, blood, tears, 6 a.m. workouts. I mean, all your years of football to finally live out that dream and now call yourself an NFL player. What's that like?
I mean, it's everything, right? This is what everyone works for. So, I couldn't even picture myself in high school because, I mean, as Coach Bedell can attest to, I played high school football late. I started my junior year. Didn't really know. I knew like my plays in high school were pass set right, pass set left, run block right. Didn't know any schemes. I didn't know if I was even going to start at Boise. So this was all just one big step at a time for me. And to be at this point, to be in the NFL is just it's unreal to me. It just doesn't even seem real quite yet. And I know it'll start to kick in, and I hope it does with some urgency here. But yeah, just to be here in this process is it's mind blowing to me.
So what do you do? What can Ben Dooley do to stick, to make an impact, to show the coaches that you're worthy of sticking around and making a roster spot and trying to get on the field? What's kind of your mindset in terms of what you hope to do to separate yourself?
Yeah, I just want to show them that no one will outwork me. I will be there early. I will stay late. I will know the plays better than anybody else. I will run the plays better than anybody else. And I'll be that versatility guy if they need that. If they need me to swing the three inside, then I want to be that guy for them. I want to be backing up all three positions and show them that I am for the team. I am not out there to represent my last name or to get myself any more glory. I'm an O lineman. I know what the deal is. I'll be a glue guy. I'll be a backup if that's what they need. I'm all for the team, and if they see that, then I think I can stick.
Brad, his versatility and just his skill set, in terms of what he brings to the table here, just what do you make of his versatility and just different ways he can help impact the team?
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. Versatility is going to be key, right? So I think he knows he's going to be an inside guy. He's got to play all three. I mean, you have to. And he's been working hard at it. There's a lot of people don't understand the work that Dooley's put in just to put a ball in his hand and work. So he was prepared to if a team was going to call on a Tuesday, said, hey, Dooley, we want to work you out center. He was going to be prepared for it. And his team did a great job analyzing, okay, where is his fit? He's going to play inside three. And you have to be versatile in that situation. Remember, only 7 dress in a game. They're only going to keep maybe 8 or 9 on a roster. So every guard is going to have to play center. Every tackle is going to have to play guard. And then sometimes some guards in a pinch are going to have to move out to tackle to get through a game. And so your versatility in that league is what's going to keep you in that league. And so I think there's no doubt nobody's going to outwork him. I mean, that's a given. It's just, can he get in there and prove that, okay, I have never played center in a game, but give me the ball. Give me the ball. And he'll walk into a locker room and he's going to walk into the front door of the Rams, and it's like you're hit with a 2x4. And it's like, okay, I'm here. And then you go in the locker room and you're kind of taking a look around and you're a little bit shell-shocked about, oh, okay, this is the National Football League. Okay, I've seen him on TV. Okay, there's a starting quarterback. I definitely know who that is. Things like that. And then all of a sudden you get in the line room and they start, hey, rookie, and just busting balls. And they're like, and then it's like, okay, I belong here. And it's the same thing with every other rookie. And I tell every rookie this: you shut your mouth and you learn. And then as you gain respect in the room, right? When the vets start talking to you like about football, they said, okay, this dude can play. Okay, so now it's time. Let's take a little bit underneath our wing and go, okay, hey, Dooley, I know what you did here, but you're going to have to do this, this, and this.
Now,
and once they start doing that, that's where you got the respect of the room and like, okay, this kid may stick around.
you talk about the versatility. Let's go back to Thursday, November 12th, 2020. Redshirt freshman Ben Dooley making 2 tackles on defense.
Yes, sir.
That was
Wow, that was wild.
That was a wild time for everybody. I got that call on a Wednesday, and we played on a Saturday. So I had Wednesday night, so I had 2 days to learn some D-line.
Right.
Which I don't want to speak to the maybe what's easier, O-line, D-line, like that whole thing. But I had 2 days to learn
Run
some D-line
forward and clog a gap.
and I got it done. So I don't know like what that says to that argument, but I'll let the people decide on that.
I mean, you didn't just play; you had 2 tackles.
I think I had a pressure too. I was. It wasn't too bad.
Does that Brad
No.
pretty much say all you need to know about Ben Dooley? Whatever it takes for the team, he's willing to go to the other side, and he can go out there and have success.
That's it. And the other thing is if he didn't go to the other side, guys, we forfeit the game. We did not have enough defensive linemen to play in the game. So it's either he sacrifices and goes and plays D-line, or we cancel the game and say, hey, we forfeit or whatever we were doing at the time because we don't currently have enough defensive linemen to healthily play the game. So he's like, they walk in, hey, Ben, you want to play D-line? Yeah, sure, I'll play D-line. And not to mention, we met after practice because I needed him as a backup role at offensive line because if we were one injury out, he had to play both sides of the ball.
Wow. And that was a no-brainer for you, Ben? Just, hey, whatever it takes for the team. When you heard that, you're like, I'm down?
100%. I would play anything. I would do anything for that team. Those dudes meant everything to me. So, yeah, there was no question that I would do anything that team needed me to do.
Well, before we let you go, we've heard Brad talking about you. Give us some inside dirt, some good scoops here on the 2 years you had with Brad Bedell.
There you go.
What a room that was, It wasn't even just Coach Bedell, but when I first came into that room, that 2019 room, I was like, this is a completely different atmosphere than I ever thought I would be in. You have Garrett Larson with his shirt off. He's got 2 lightning bolts on his stomach, ripping ass the whole time, telling me to eat shit. I ask a question, they tell me to pipe the fuck down. And, that room was just, I realized the mentality that you had to have. And Coach Bedell was really good at developing that mentality, that dirty play, that trench mentality. I think that he did the best at working that mentality and letting the guys know this is what you have to do to play here. This is what this room has to look like. This is what people have to act like. And that was always something I took away from Bedell.
Brad, was Ben the one with the famous parking lot confrontation when you left, or was that Garrett Kern?
I was Garrett. Me and Garrett Kern had a discussion. Dooley was there, but it's all love, But it's the emotional side of everything, right? I mean, I recruited these kids. I sat in their living room, and when you leave, and you promise them, I'm here for your time. And all of a sudden things happen. Coaches make decisions. And in that cloud of dust, assistant coaches have to make decisions. And one guy pulled the trigger a lot quicker than the other. And when you don't have one opportunity, you got to take the other opportunity, knowing, you have to do kind of in that situation, you have to go where the job is at the current time. Now, I just didn't sign that contract. It'd been a different story, but it's emotional. When coaches leave, it's emotional. And I've always said this. I've always let players speak their mind. Doesn't matter if you're the coach. We'll shut the door and we'll scream at each other. We'll have it out, right? Because I think players deserve to be heard. I don't. If he's got stuff and if I probably didn't let Garrett Curran or Ben Dooley or Kakani. If I didn't have those hard conversations and let them air that out, we would never have a relationship right now, because they're going to hold resentment over the course of time and not know the real truth about some situations. And if we want to be men and act like men and make big boy decisions, you have to let the people that your decision affected tell you how it affected them. I'm a firm believer in that, because that's how relationships are made. And everything was aired out. We hugged it out with all of them. And we moved on and things like that. And so I really don't, I'm a firm believer in coaches make decisions, but the players are left in a cloud of dust. And if the players are never heard over time, when I got back, then we wouldn't be sitting here having a relationship. And sometimes things just need to be aired, and, people yell at each other. But at the end of the day, I love the kid. I love all these guys that I brought into Boise State, and just goes true. They're all being very successful,
Ben,
either in football or not.
It would seem in the time I've gotten to know Brad, on air, off air, I mean, he shoots it to you straight, doesn't he?
100%. He's always been a straight shooter, good or bad, which is, you like it. But I like that. I never like a coach who pulls you around or kind of, leads you on a little bit. Like, I would rather just you give it to me straight. Like, that's why we're here, And like he said, like, that's real man shit. Like, that's what it means to be a man, shooting straight and taking accountability. So,
well, a couple of quick comments here. We got Ben is a beast and will do great. Andrew says, go get him, Ben. Kick some ass. Bronco 130. That beard is some Viking level shit. Let's see. Sky says Dooley looks like he's ready to sack York with Mel Gibson and Braveheart. Love it. And then I guess our one hard hitting question to finish it off here: pizza rolls or bagel bites?
Pizza rolls, 100%.
So what is the schedule here before we let you go? Is there a mini camp coming up, or what's kind of next? Are you already diving into the playbook here? When do you officially start your NFL career here?
Yeah, every team does it a little differently. So most teams report out. I'm reporting out to LA May 8th, and then we'll do what it looks like. What I've been told and what it looks like to me is that we'll do a lot of just getting familiar with everything: the facility, the culture, the players, the playbook, the schemes and everything like that. So you'll have kind of this month of transition where you're just kind of taking everything in and learning as much as you can and figuring out what this looks like for you coming up in training camp in a couple months here. So I'm excited. My family's excited. We're ready to attack this thing. We're ready to roll.
Well, we appreciate your time, Ben. Brad, I don't know if you have any final words for Ben here. I know you talked to him obviously plenty privately, but I know you're proud of him and you're not surprised, and he's going to kick some ass.
No, he'll do great. He knows that. He'll do great. I mean, it's a mindset. He's got it. And that whole league's a mindset. Whole league's a mindset.
Well, we appreciate it, Ben. We're going to be following you. Congratulations to you and the other 5 guys, 6 of you total so far that have latched on with NFL teams. Pretty cool. And now, I lived in St. Louis. I was a St. Louis Ram. I haven't exactly been able to kind of go with the LA Ram, but now that I have a connection here, we'll be watching the Rams a little more now here moving forward. So
we'll see what we can do.
In LA.
Huh?
They started in LA.
I know. But
they only liked it when they moved to St. Louis.
And you have a hockey pullover on.
We big game tonight, St. Louis. See, St. Louis.
Is the
a represented city?
I know. But no, in all seriousness, Ben, man, looking forward to following this. Hope you really go out there and dominate. And I don't think it'll surprise anybody when you do. And we'll be following you, and hopefully can get you back on again sometime soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man. Ben Dooley, there he is. Brad, great guy. I know, obviously, you're excited, and you know that he's going to do big things there.
Yeah, I do. I hold Ben to a high standard, and I think he'll answer that call. And I think it is a very good fit. I think his agent, can't remember his name for the life of me, but he did a great job with him understanding and targeting some teams that fit his style. And it just so happens that the Rams didn't draft anybody, so they like the current guys in the room. But they're obviously they think there's a need there to upgrade and push and compete with some of the backup roles. And then, in a Ben situation, and I've told Ben this, is there's nothing wrong with getting in that league as a practice squad player, like a John Molshon, who ended up doing practice squad, going to active roster, and winning Super Bowl. So I think that, that path for him is set, and I think he can take advantage of a great opportunity. And John Majuku's the same way. I mean, he started practice squad, went to the active roster, started some games last year. So, I think the path is set, and I think he can take advantage of the path that he has ahead of it.
Well, appreciate you for helping get him on there, and thanks for Ben for hopping on today. We got some other Boise State topics we want to get to here in our remaining 15 minutes or so. We'll do that in just a second, but first want to thank our sponsors, including rowpaint.com, ROEpaint.com, our official title sponsor there, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Whether it's interior, exterior painting, that's concrete coatings, hit them up at rowpaint.com. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, they are hiring, and they got some great promotional opportunities right now. Free food while you work, half the wages the next day after your shift, and just great promotional opportunities to advance with a career at Taco Bell. And the food's pretty darn good as well, whether it's a Cantina Bowls, the Lux Cravings boxes, all the great options there. My kid loves the basic good old cheesy roll-ups. So visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. And again, we thank the SON Management Group and the Nicolason family. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. So easy to use. Rain's family is so happy we made the switch. I love going into the stores at ICCU or the branches, but I've only had to go in 3 or 4 times because you can just do everything right there from your phone or your computer. The ease of and the convenience of what they offer on their mobile app is just second to none. So make the switch today. You don't know what you're missing until you make the switch. Get more information online, ICCU.com. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. And you're looking for a spa, sauna, pool table, they got you covered. Snake River Pool and Spa. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store's got some great deals going on as well. If you're looking for some Boise State gear, check out the Blue and Orange Store. They got that clearance rack there at the front of the store right there in the Boise Town Square Mall, second floor next to Pro Image. It's the best clearance rack value in town with all the deals they have there. And if you're not in the Boise area, you can just go online, theblueandorangestore.com, and best selection, the best prices, and you're supporting someone that is involved in the NIL game, donating to Boise State. I mean, you really want to support a true Bronco. That's Travis Hawks and the Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. And don't forget Jackson's. I got that $5 meal deal going on right now. 2 hot dogs and kettle chips for $5 at Jackson's. And they also have the 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night. That's right, anytime, day or night from our friends at Jackson's. You can get 99-cent coffee, and we appreciate Jackson's for their support of Bronco Nation News. All right, I want to give one more quick shout out here to our friends at Highland Sports, and they've been doing some tremendous things. And Brad, our youth baseball team was in a bind yesterday. We lost our practice field at the last minute, and someone had mentioned this Highland Sports facility to me in Eagle, and we at the last minute called them up. They snuck us in, and this place is unbelievable. It's got a full area for infield. You play catch, do grounders. If you have a youth team, you can do a full infield practice there on the right, and then come down here. You got 3 cages. There I am in the middle just throwing gas on the batting practice machine. But we had a really good time last night, our 10U Meridian team here with my son Naismith. And so awesome facility. You got 3 full cages. The far cage, which isn't being used right now, had a pitching machine. It was an automatic machine. We were using that. And then you have the 3 kind of tee soft toss stations on the net down there at the end as well. So you can have like 6 guys hitting at one time. They have the area to the right there with, as I said, the full infield. So Highland Sports, Eagle, Idaho. Shout out, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping us out. And if you're a youth baseball team, I highly, highly recommend Highland Sports. You can hit them up 208-244-0860. That's 208-244-0860. And their website, highlandsports.simplybook.me. Again, highlandsports.simplybook.me. And we appreciate their staff for helping us out. Truly been to a lot of youth baseball facilities, Brad, but this place was top notch. So appreciate them for helping us out. And as I said, there's the tees down there on the end, the soft toss. It was an awesome facility. We're going to make it back there right there in Eagle, Idaho. So thanks again to our friends at Highland Sports. All right, Brad, I'm curious. I want to get to Spencer Danielson and his contract situation, but getting the new deal. But one kind of thing since we've last talked, Braxton Fely returning to the team on the defensive line. That's just kind of the new era, I guess, of college football. You know, guys entering the portal and think they're going to get this amount of money, or realize when they go take visits, it's just not the same. And a lot of schools, you know, will cut ties and nope, see ya. And I mean, heck, Eric McAllister a couple years ago, you know, left the team in the middle of the season, and then you know when you know there was a coaching change, he wanted to come back, and they said nope, you know, we're not taking you back. But in this case, Braxton Fely, obviously a heck of a player, but what's your take as a coach now? Just guy leaves, takes some visits, and then, you know, essentially comes back begging to Spencer Danielson that he made a wrong choice and this is where he needs to be, and they take him back. What's just your take on this and how that plays in the locker room?
Well, I think coaches can handle this in two different ways, right? I think the coach can just let anybody back he wants. I think you're in a slippery slope right there, because now you're telling every player in your roster that, hey, you leave, if you don't get anything better, you can come back. But I think the difference between that and what Spencer did is he made it very clear in his thought process when he put it out on X that he went to his team and they talked about it and said, okay, he wants back. What's your feeling on it? I don't know the conversations that happened within his program and his team and his staff. But the players came back and said, yeah, we want him back. But the key thing is what Spencer said is he needs to earn his trust back, right? I think that is the greatest way to handle this of all time, is the young man realized he made a mistake, right? And thought that there was going to be greener pasture on the other side. Take some visits and said, I made a big mistake. Can I please come back? And they've been talking for a week, according to Spencer in the press release he put out. So it wasn't you're welcome back with open arms. It's like, well, you do know I want to talk to the team and see if they want you back. And I don't think every team does that. I don't think every player in that roster, the players would say, yeah, bring them back. I mean, I think you got to make that it's a player by player decision. And I think it's the right one. I think he's a very good player. I think Spencer is very close to this young man. So did that go a little part into it? He made multiple, he's like a son to it, right? So that also helps. But I think in a position like D-line where, you know, I think they had to go to the portal. So essentially they got their portal player, but they just got him back.
They weren't going to get one as good as him either.
No, not with how much they're paying him.
Yeah.
Not right now. That's a prime position that right now, if you want an O lineman, a D lineman, probably or a corner, you're going to have to pay top dollar. And I don't think they're going to get that. But also, I just think there's a slippery slope. And I think you have to go to your football team because your culture means everything. And this has to be very clear, stating like, hey, I'm not doing this for every player. I want to make this clear that this doesn't happen for everybody. And this is just a special circumstance of a kid who he's a Bronco. We love him. He made a decision to test the waters. I would like him back, but it's up to you guys. And then the team makes the decision because they're in the locker room, right? The coach can't just say, yeah, we'll let anybody back you want. Now you're going to lose 70 or 60 guys just to test the market. So I think it was the right decision. I think it was handled correctly. And I also like the fact that Spencer came out and explained the process to him. I don't think he has to do that, but I think he cares enough where the fans, he just nipped it in the bud and said, this is why we brought him back. There was a process to bring him back. And he has to answer some questions with the locker room, and he'll get that done. But I'm fully aware of him starting. I mean, that's not, he didn't, he's got to earn everything back. But I think
Brad's internet may have gone away here for a second, unless that's me. I think that's Brad. Brad is frozen a little bit. We'll get back to Brad as soon as his internet resets. Yeah, Braxton Fely back. He will start probably along the D line. Obviously, it's a massive get to get him back. Do we have you back, Brad?
yeah, I'm here.
Your internet.
Yeah, my internet went out.
Let's get game one to upgrade the internet a little bit here.
Yeah. Let's have the Boise area upgrade their internet a little bit. Wow.
But basically, the precedent of because you could just have half the team then entering the portal. Just I'll see if I can get something better. If not, I'll just come back, and that's not the way it should be.
No, it shouldn't be that way. That's not why we did that. That's not why this is happening. That's why I said it's player to player. I mean, and hate to tell you this, guys, but if you're a real productive football player, that helps a lot. If you have never played at Boise State and you want to do this, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're a good human being, I don't know the young man, but if it sounds like he's a great human being, he's very productive. Boise needs him, right? Then that helps.
It's not just. I mean, there's especially with Spencer, right? There's more to it than just sacrificing values and whatever just to get a good player on the team. And you got to weigh. Yeah, we want him on this team versus. No, he left, he said goodbye and cleaned out his locker. Like, we can't take him back no matter what. Like, there has to be a little bit of tough give and take there.
There has to be. And the other thing is I also think if you're a good human being while you're here, I think that softens the blow a bit, and it also hurts when you go into the portal. But this is a case by case situation, and the young man he knew he made a mistake, and they had hard conversations, like Spencer said, and he answered the questions that were asked, and then it went to the team, the leadership committee, and they had a say. And I think if you got to give players a say in this situation, or it's just going to be mutiny. And I don't think he handled it that way. I think he handled it the right way, and then you kind of move on. He's back, and you move on.
Hey, Lithia Ford of Boise, LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles over at Lithia. We appreciate Jim Sturk and company. If you're looking for a new F-150, a ton of great options, Lithia Ford of Boise. And you can go online, LithiaFordBoise.com, view that full inventory and do your research ahead of time. Go in, test drive, be on your way. And speaking of Cage Casey and Roger Carrion and NIL, they're taking care of those guys over at Lithia Ford of Boise. So return the favor with your next car or truck purchase at LithiaFordBoise.com. Matt Boucher Real Estate, he's stepping up as well, part of the Boise State home team. When you buy or sell a home with Matt, you get to meet everybody in the picture there. The customer service is unmatched. We're, believe it or not, Brad Bedell approaching 1 year in our new home. Matt helped us buy and sell. All I think about that is 29 more years of making payments. But Brad Bedell, we loved our experience with Boucher Real Estate. Tremendous customer service every step of the way. I know everybody has 5 friends that are realtors in this town, but if you want someone that's going to fight for you for every dollar, every credit, every deal, and someone that's obviously a true bleeds blue and is a true Bronco, Matt Boucher's your guy. Online, Boucher Real Estate. Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com. Get up to 40% off of the checkout line using their Skip app, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Love that CUNA location. You want that friendly grocery store feel? Yeah, you need Ridley's Family Markets. If you need a job, transportation compliance service has you. Transcomservice.com. Get into the trucking industry, all the paperwork and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. They can help you out. They're a local company helping out folks all over the United States. Get more information online at transcomservice.com. Got our order in for Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. The convenience is unmatched. 2 minutes in the microwave and you're eating steak, shrimp, chicken, fish. It's just the easiest, healthiest, freshest meal prep service out there. And I tell you what, it's unbelievable. I know they're feeding the football team weekly. They feed the basketball team as well. They got meals there in the basketball facility where they can just go in and grab and go. And it's just very easy to use. And so they've done some NIL deals, obviously, with players in the past. Leanfeastmeridian.com. If you're looking to eat healthy and just the convenience of keeping it in your refrigerator all week and pop it in the microwave, you're good to go. Lean Feast Meridian is who you need to hit up, leanfeastmeridian.com. And if you have a voicemail for us, you got something you want to express, something you want to get off your chest, good, bad, whatever, speakpipe.com. You can leave us a /BNN. You can leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. We'll get to that on the Signature Roofing voice inbox, brought to you by Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof or repair, an estimate, and inspection, they got it all online. All your roofing needs. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. All right, the news of the day yesterday, Brad, Spencer Danielson gets a new contract, and over the course of the deal, essentially doubling his salary. You look at Spencer Danielson getting a nice raise. You look at the assistant coaches, that was finalized, in the last couple of months. That wasn't new, but they're new raises. They're pumping in about $1.5 million, Brad, in new money into the coaching pool here, whether it be with Spencer and with these assistants. And I know getting to the playoff and all that, there's additional revenue, there's more money. I understand that. But for a school like Boise State, there was a time where $1.5 million, was the salary pool, or was what you had to get your 9 coaches paid for with. It's the increments they've made in the salaries and trying to retain coaches. And now the fact that, they're at where they're at. I think his salary now is either at or above or near where Harsin was at when he left. To where they're at already with him, with these coaches, like I said, $1.5 million in new money added to the pool this year. What does that just say about the commitment that this athletic department is making to football? And, they're getting ready for the Pac-12 here coming up and coming off a playoff appearance. And you got that North End Zone project, getting more finished by the day. They're infusing some more money into this program, which is needed.
I think you have to, and they're doing it. If you think of where the football program is doing as a total, is facility upgrades, right? It started with the lights last season. Now it's the end zone, and now they're going to pour money into the coaching staff because
the sound system, the new scoreboard. You can go down the line.
Name it. Right. So, in my opinion, they have an understanding of where they're about to compete, and I'm going to assume Jeremiah's pretty smart, or Mr. Dickey's pretty smart, right? So if he could fast forward, let's look at possible the situation in college football in 5 years. Okay, let's say Cal, Stanford, they come back and they're in the Pac-12. Okay, and then all of a sudden we go to regional and it's blown up and everybody's back. So now we're back in regional, and then now look at what Boise State's done now to coaches' salaries, facility upgrades, and they're trying to compete. If this thing's going to flip upside down in 5 years, conference realignment possibly happening again, now Boise's in a situation as we're attractive now. Our institution has gotten better academically. Okay, we're facility upgrades. Our coaches are paid well. And so now it's not going to all of a sudden say, oh, we want this coach, we're going to pay him this amount of money. We want this coach, we're going to pay him this amount of money. And so I think the only thing, and I'll say this, and it's the bad thing about college football.
There goes Brad again. Brad.
So, I'm right here. So I think the only thing that needs to take the next step is see where it's going to go with how much they can pay the kids once that gets settled, and your collective. And I think that's the next step. Until this whole situation's worked out, Boise needs a lot more money, the collective, to compete with a possible 5 year down the road of the Washingtons, the Stanfords, the Cals, the SCs, the UCLAs. This is no longer you're competing against Air Force. That's going to be bye-bye. You're going to have to compete against the Washington States, the Oregon States once they hit the Pac-12.
Yep.
And then future, let's say there's conference realignment. Now you're going to compete against the other big boys in this side of the country.
Well, yeah. Yesterday we saw that the Pac-12 got their deal done for 2025, which opens the way now for them to go to 2026. And there's a lot of belief that the market, the partners they had in 2025, those ESPN and CBS wouldn't just come in and do all this and take 2 games just for 1 year. This might be a precursor to a bigger deal with some of those networks for 2026. I've always said, Brad, I thought leaving ESPN was one of the biggest mistakes that the Mountain West and Boise State made, because just the propaganda, the college football playoff being, owned or run, not owned, but just on, the rights on ESPN, all the talk on College Game Day and their college football live shows. Once Boise State, and I know they got a little more money out of the deal, went over to Fox, and they've had some nice exposure on Fox, some nice games on there. But in terms of the other stuff that comes with the pregame shows, the College Game Day, like I said, you're kind of an afterthought once you leave. Once your league doesn't have a deal with ESPN, and so I thought that has hurt Boise State in recent years, not having any kind of tie to ESPN. So I thought that's a big deal. I think if you can get ESPN back in the fold for 2026 as part of this new Pac-12, and I think they would like those late night, games and stuff again for those post primetime games that start at 8:30 or whatever that fans don't like. I think that would be appealing to an ESPN, but I hope ESPN is a part of this new Pac-12 deal, and seeing that the other night or yesterday when they announced that there's going to be two ESPN games as part of this 2025 Pac-12 deal, that was encouraging for me, at least.
There's no doubt. I mean, Fox been ass. Let's get it. I mean, come on. Boise had some big time games in a playoff run, and they were on Fox Ocho. I don't even know what channel. Peacock. The Oregon game was on Peacock, for crying out loud.
Well, that's an NBC thing, and that was due to Oregon. Oregon had control of that game, to be honest. And that's
okay. Well, then sorry. Okay, let's go to the
stinks too. Yes,
I forgot what game it was. Let's go to the 2 clowns doing the game play-by-play at home that aren't even in the stadium. That there's a 10-second delay. The camera guy was either drunk or smoking dope, and it was horrible. And this is an undefeated or one-loss team that's going to make a playoff run. And Fox didn't do Boise State right. Spade is a spade. Hell, I ain't going to go work for Fox. I don't give a rat's ass. They were terrible. They were terrible. I mean, all they did is they just wanted to control the Colorado narrative. Let's just talk about that for a minute. That's all they cared about was the Big 12 and the Colorado narrative. I'm sorry, and I'm a Colorado. I played at Colorado, but it went overboard. I want Boise State to go back to ESPN, and I think if Boise State has to sacrifice and play an 8:30 game every now and then, you go back to ESPN. Now, I like to see these 2 ESPN games, Oregon and Washington State. I've told you this. Once this contract or the conference gets aligned, Boise State is the premier school in this conference. Are they going to put those games on a Thursday? I'll be very intrigued to see where they put these 2 ESPN games. It's just, I want to know if they're just going to, is it going to be like MAC ball on ESPN and they're playing on Tuesday? They won't do that. I mean,
the 2 ESPN games for 2025 are already set. One's a Friday night game, Oregon State against Houston, and one's a late night game, Oregon State against Cal. It's like a late night Saturday game for the 2 for this year, but they haven't announced 2026 yet. I'm just hoping ESPN.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't care. I'd rather watch a Boise State play at 8:30 on ESPN, or give them an early morning game.
You don't like Fox Sports 2? Come on.
Is that what it was on?
I think Fox Sports 2. I'm not sure if they have a Fox.
I had to search for that stuff.
They might,
and I thought I had every channel, and I had to go back to YouTube TV and add it. But this is what made me mad about Fox. Okay, this is what really, if you want to get it started, you have 2 Heisman finalists that are making a run for this thing. You have Ashton, and you have the Colorado kid, Travis Hunter, right? Travis Hunter is on national television every game. Boise State gets played on Fox 2, which a lot of people don't even have. And so now, where's the national recognition? So it makes it even more fun. He finishes second.
The ESPN and Fox, all these networks, indeed, fed into the Dion, whatever. And then the quarterback whose number's already retired goes, 5th round?
Yeah, but they retired his number. Go Buffaloes.
I think he's the first ever 5th rounder with his number retired.
He may be the first quarterback ever to get his number retired going 13-2.
No, 13-12, right?
Or 13-12, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, Deion Figures is a pretty good player. He wore number 2. He was the Thorpe Award winner, I think, twice. First round pick. He didn't
That's
get retired.
the People's Heisman.
Well, yeah, I understand where he is the people's Heisman, but the people better make a trophy.
Tyree says BNN needs that quantum fiber sponsorship. We got to work on that for Brad's internet here.
I don't even know what quantum fiber is.
Oh, it's that new internet that's like faster than it's like the something fiber cable, something that's the fastest one they have. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we got to talk to the builder.
There you go. Brad, appreciate your time as always, man. Enjoyed doing this, and I'm excited for Ben. And I mean, Boise State's had pretty good track record and success. And I guess we'll close with this. I mean, I saw that the Athletic, Dane Brugler, one of the premier kind of NFL draft guys, has next year. He already has his mock draft out. First mock draft for next year, which I know everyone laughs about. It's crazy, whatever. But number 23 overall, first round, Cage Casey, Boise State. So they got a chance to, have a potentially another first rounder, which they've never had. Boise State's never had back-to-back first-round picks, but Cage Casey stayed, could have got NIL money. I mean, I don't know if it's quite on the Ashton Genty level, but similar story maybe brewing where he stayed and Boise State with another chance at a first-round pick next year.
I hope so. I mean, he's a good football player. I
Yeah.
mean, he just got to play the season and keep his head down and grind it out. He's not getting drafted tomorrow, so have a good year. It's in your hands.
Yeah.
It's in your hands. I mean, that's the thing about this draft that's coming out now. It's in their hands. It's in the kids' hands.
Well,
and I think the one thing I will end this about all these kids right now, and Boise State doesn't have a problem. I think the NFL is paying attention to this NIL and how young men are behaving. I think that is we've hit it. The NFL owners are officially on putting everybody on notice, saying, "Hey, what you do off the field, what's your posse, what you do, is football that important to you, or is the NIL money? And then what are you doing with the NIL money? Is they don't? It's very clear who I've talked to is the NFL is putting people on notice about how you're behaving when you're a millionaire in college.
Or if you're not bouncing around to 3-4 schools looking for that next payday.
Exactly. I think because you can't do that in the National Football League. You got a contract.
Yep.
No offense. Nobody wants to see after year one a fourth round holdout or leave because he's not getting $20 million.
Which now they can't. They used to, it's all slotted, but
It's all slotted. Yeah, and they got you for 4 years. You got the fourth year as an option, right? So, I mean, this is not, I think this draft, I think between the Tennessee quarterback and what just happened in this draft, I think there's a lot of people they've ruffled some feathers, and I think the NFL has had enough with entitled kids walking into their franchise, and they're asking them to put them on a poster because we're a first-round pick, but he's got something on Instagram where he's holding stacks of cash and things like that. I don't, these schools, I think it's a little bit on the coaches too. I know I'm outside looking in now, but these coaches need to mentor these kids that are making all this money, saying, "Hey, you're making big man money. You got to treat as an adult." And they don't carry you on Instagram answering the phone with 20 grand cash.
Well, we got to get you coached a lot of players there in the NFL. We see the Ezra Cleveland jersey right there, but we got to get a wall of Brad Bedell NFL players, and we got to get Ben Dooley to make this Rams roster and get a Ben Dooley jersey there hanging up here this time next year.
Yeah, I got to get the rest of them up.
That's pretty cool. We got to get pretty cool. Happy for Ben Dooley, and we need to get Ben Dooley to be the latest one to get in the NFL and stick and get him up on your wall there.
No doubt. I hope he does. It's the that the O-lines and I brought a couple guys in, but you got to give Tim Keene credit. He's done a hell of a job with them. I give him a lot of credit, and he deserves that credit. He coached Ben the past 2 years. And so, I give Tim Keene a lot of credit for what he's done with that offensive line with Cage Casey. And so, he did a great job, and you got to give Tim Keene credit. The offensive line's played well, and this year's going to be a big test without Ashton Genty back there.
And a big shout out to you, Brad, knowing this was a hockey. I appreciate you knowing this was a St. Louis.
Hey, what people don't know is he still has the tag, but he tucked it into the collar. So when they lose this series, he's going to return it to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, that's funny. That is actually funny. But to show you, Brad, we can go. If you really want to do this, Brad, if you really want to do this, I got here's a Blues hat. I got another Blues hat here I could choose to wear tonight. No, maybe I could wear this St. Louis one right here. I kind of
That's the Rams, but okay.
No, this is Blues. This is Blues. Come on now. We got this little old school Blues one right here. I mean, we can go down the line here. I got plenty of Blues hats. If I got another one over here. There's 5 right there. So
I think you should take off and or you're going to be the one person watching the game on TV tonight in the whole mountain region.
2 series, man. It's a big one tonight. 2-2 series in the Rain's house. No Boise State news after about 7:00 tonight, please.
Who are they playing?
The Winnipeg Jets, the President's Cup Trophy winner, Brad, the team with the best record in the NHL this year, and the Blues, the last team to get in, last seed in the playoffs, got this series tied 2-2 right now. So we're battling.
Yeah, hope you got a good score, 1-0.
Well, Brad, appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on. We're going to hope to continue this. We got a lot of topics. I think we can continue this all off season, talk some football. Yeah, someone said they like the script hat. Yeah, I do like the that's a cool little the rope hat, the script there. I like that. So hopefully next Wednesday we're talking about either a Game 7 or a second round matchup here is what I'm hoping for next Wednesday. So
awesome. Maybe they'll play Wayne Gretzky in the
the Wayne Gretzky, Brett Hall, old school Blues sweater. It's a sweater in hockey. It's not a jersey, Brad. It's called a sweater. Maybe I'll bust out the sweater for you next week.
I please do.
Brad, thanks, man. We'll talk to you later. That'll do it. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. Johnny Mallory and I will be back tomorrow. We appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We got some articles coming to the site this afternoon. I know Nathan Carroll's been working hard on a couple of things, so go subscribe and check out the website, BroncoNationNews.com. Share this video, like it, retweet it, tell your friends, and we'll talk to you guys 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. Let's go Blues!
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.